Joe Biden has announced that he is going to be running for president again, and therefore Trump had to weigh in with a song. I believe the children are our future. Treat them well, let them lead the way. This is his response. President Donald Trump releases web video addressing Joe Biden's announcement. Is he speaking about it in the third person? And do you think there'll be anything original? Me neither. Okay, so let's get started. We'll start off with this business. Oh my God. And away we go. Hold on, I gotta push play on here.
You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history.
I know I could. I could take, quite frankly, most of them are pretty old by the time they get into office. I think the only ones that would give me a run for my money at all would be Teddy Roosevelt, because he was a bit of a scrapper, and Abe Lincoln, who wrestled and was very tall, and he's got reach. I'd have to keep my guard up like Marciano or Balboa just to get inside. But I'm pretty sure I could take the 5 worst. You'd be easy.
Put them together, and they would not have.
They would form one superbot.
Done the damage Joe Biden has done.
You're right, because he hasn't done any damage
to our nation in just a few short years. Not
they're the same length as all the other years.
Even close.
Not even close. No way.
Thanks to Joe Biden's socialist spending calamity. American families are being.
This man added is responsible for 1/3 of our national debt. 1/3.
Decimated by the worst inflation in half a century.
Yeah, but it's coming down, and that won't be something to run on next time. And the inflation, the cost rise, I won't even call it inflation. The cost rises that we have that are going to be with us for a little while, nobody's going to be able to fix because they have to do with supply chains changing, and that's going to be an expensive, long-term process.
Banks are failing. Our currency is crashing.
No. No. Hold on one second. If I may. Let me see. US dollar. Okay, that's against the euro is the value. Let's see. While the dollar has declined over the past 6 months, it remains close to a 10-year high versus currencies of countries with which the U.S. trades. It also remains the primary currency used for trade and financial transactions in the global economy. Yeah. Oh, and as far as the Chinese yuan's going to take over, right? Remember that part? The yuan. Trade in yuan accounted for less than 2% of global trade. That's including all the added shit with Brazil, Russia, everything. Less than 2%. If they, all right. I don't know why these assholes, all right. Yes, I do, because they're ignorant idiots, but here we go.
The dollar will soon no longer be the world standard, which will be our greatest.
The world standard.
Defeat in over 200 years.
Okay, it's not part of a war, but it won't happen anyways.
Real wages have been falling 24 months in a row. In other words, under Biden, workers have gotten a pay cut each and every month for
terrible
2 straight years.
Because they've been going up at a lower rate post COVID, and workers are getting more benefits and unionizations added. Never mind.
We have surrendered our energy independence.
We did? To who? When did that happen?
Just like we surrendered in Afghanistan.
We didn't surrender in Afghanistan. Fuck you.
Which we had.
We got out because it was a fool's errand. It's a stupid place to be, doing stupid shit for way too fucking long.
Just a short time ago.
And by the way, if we surrendered in Afghanistan, for the record, didn't this motherfucker negotiate the surrender? He's the one that released the 5,000 Taliban fighters. He's the one that talked to Abdul and got him out of fucking jail, right?
And the price of gasoline just hit a 5-month high. And
Yeah, because it had been going down.
it's going much higher than that.
Is it?
Under my leadership, we had the most secure border in U.S. history by
Thanks, COVID.
far. Never had a border like this.
Yeah, that's true because even people seeking asylum were afraid to come into a country that had more COVID than they did.
Under Biden, the southern border has been abolished and millions of
Abolished. All right, I didn't realize. I knew we were abolishing the prisons and defunding the police, but I had no idea we were abolishing the entire border. Weird. It just so you could just. I guess we could all just walk down there, and if we want to go into Mexico in and out, we don't even need a passport anymore. Right? It's been abolished.
illegal aliens have been released into our communities.
Have they like feral cats?
What's happening now is beyond belief.
All right. Yes, I don't believe most of what you're saying. So, okay.
They're coming in from mental institutions.
He's talking about his supporters. He's going. This is the part where he goes into how good his polls are.
And prisons are all being emptied.
Yes, there's not a single correctional facilities and correctional officers in South America have nothing to do. Just play tiddlywinks all day long.
They're being dumped into the United States of America
with a water slide. Just
many of these people are very dangerous. They're being dumped. We're like a dumping ground.
Yes, for people who are dumped. It's a dump. What a dump. By the way, please do not take anything this idiot says seriously. You should file the way he's talking and what he's talking about in the same way that in the same area you would file the opinions and strategies and plans of someone walking down a street screaming at street lamps with no pants on. It has the same quality and function.
Our cities have been overrun with homelessness, drug addicts, and violent criminals who are.
Well, I mean, DC was for a little while because of your rally, but they fixed that.
Being released from jail en masse with no retribution whatsoever while.
With no retribution. What are we thinking? Lashes, spankings, some sort of a rack, maybe?
Law enforcement is weaponized against law-abiding conservatives or Republicans or people they just don't like.
Yeah, just anybody who looks at them cross-eyed. That's the thing about when when Democrats get in charge, we just, the minute they get in charge, all the talk is about martial law. I can't even hear any of the Biden. If Kamala Harris it's always going to be a martial law. We just got to round everybody up and we got to throw them in. Anybody who looks at us crooked gets thrown in jail or. No, I'm sorry. That was martial law was the plan that you had during the insurrection to try and seize control of the country after you lost the election. My bad. I get those mixed up.
Our children are being indoctrinated and mutilated by left-wing freaks and zealots.
All right. Is there a particular site they go to or?
The senior ranks of our military have gone completely woke.
Woke. Yes, they're letting black people serve. I don't know if you've seen this, but we've got a black guy heading the Pentagon or something. I don't even know how shit runs. I was president for 4 years, but I don't know how any of that stuff. It's woke and women are it's terrible.
The military is suffering greatly. Biden has totally humiliated our nation on the world stage, starting with the Afghanistan disaster.
The one you set up and then didn't plan for?
Perhaps the most embarrassing event in the history of our country.
If that's the most embarrassing event in the history of America, we're getting off easy as a society.
It meant so much to our enemies when they watched that horrible retreat.
Yes, it meant a lot. They looked at it and went, oh, fuck. America's no longer going to be spending $300 million a day. Huh. That means they're going to be able to spend it elsewhere. They're going to have leftover arms and stuff and support they could send to places like Taiwan and Ukraine. Fuck.
Russia is teaming up with China. Iran is days away from a nuclear bomb, not even thinkable.
Not even think about, don't even think. During the entire time I was in office, I didn't even think. I didn't do any thinking. Thinking is the T word. We don't even talk about it.
Ukraine has been devastated by an invasion that would never, ever have happened if I was president.
Okay, so never have happened if I was president. He can probably bullshit people. Never ever. I is gonna perk some ears up. Yeah.
And Joe Biden has led us to the very brink of World War III.
I mean, I thought we were already in it. Weren't we in the? Haven't we been at the? Have we been brinking? Is this like edging? Are we? How brinked are we at this point? I just need to keep track because this is literally the same shit from May of last year, July, late August, October, November for sure, December absolutely, and then basically every month, every week this year.
They say Trump was right about everything. Well,
no, they don't.
I'm not predicting World War III, but I will say this: we're very close. And
I'm not gonna say that it's going to be World War III because if it does happen, there really won't be a world for me to be president. And
they're only talking about nuclear weapons. On top of it all, Biden is the most corrupt president in American history.
What are you, jealous?
And that's not even close. Nobody.
It's not even close. No, it's not even close to reality.
Can believe what's going on.
I can't believe it. I mean, the way you tell it. I think it's the way you're telling the story. That's why I can't believe it. That's what it is. And the lack of evidence. You know, you've had that fucking hard drive for 3 fucking years now, and there's no smoking gun. Good Lord.
With, again, no retribution whatsoever.
Where's the retribution? Why are there no lightning strikes? I listen to these religious assholes all the time when I pretend to give a fuck about their followers, and nobody's getting struck by lightning. I call bullshit.
With such a calamitous and failed presidency, it is almost inconceivable that
you keep using that word, and I do not think it means what you think it means.
Biden would even think of running for re-election.
Yeah, why is he even doing it? Isn't it enough that he kicked my sorry ass last time? Jesus.
You know what happened in the last election?
Yes, he beat you by millions of votes. And he didn't even have to leave his house.
They cheated, and they...
Oh, yeah, that's what happened. They cheated.
They rigged the election.
Yeah, that's what they did. And now that and they did it while I was president and they were a campaign. Now that he's the president, what fucking chance do I have? Wait a minute. I'll pretend to run. And when I lose fair and square because he's president, people will believe that it was stolen from me more than when, of course, they were in no position to have any power whatsoever.
But I promise you this, when I stand on that debate stage and compare our records, it will be radical Democrats' worst nightmare.
Well, it would only be radical Democrats' worst nightmare because Biden is going to win re-election. You know what I mean? Because the radical ones are the ones that don't like him. They want somebody a little more...
Because there's never been a record as bad as they have.
It's better than yours. What does that say?
And our country has never been through so much.
Oh, so much. Well, I think we're recovering. You know, you've been out of office for a couple of years now, and things are picking back up. I mean, there's like 12 red states that have just achieved record low unemployment for their entire history. Yeah, red states. Yep.
There has never been a greater contrast between 2 successive administrations.
That's true. You know, because Biden will be able to show that hundreds of thousands of people didn't die on his watch.
In all of America.
Because he thought China's being very professional.
American history. ours being greatness and theirs being failure. With your support,
Oh, I see. You know what? I had them backwards. I had I had them reverse categorized. It's a labeling problem on my part.
in the election,
Yeah, Trump's audio is very low. I turned it up, but that's best I can do. Sorry.
we will defeat Joe Biden in 2024.
No, no, you won't.
We will rescue our economy. We will crush
From what? Growing?
inflation. We will
You crush inflation by dropping interest rates to negative so that all the money I borrowed, the Fed will have to pay me when I pay it back.
stop the invasion on our southern border. We will restore
That's easy to do since there isn't
our
one.
nation's dignity, and we will prevent World War III.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the whole if we're on the brink of World War III, you won't be president in time to stop it. It's just how brinks work. It's the anybody who's ever been on the brink of something knows that you don't brink for long. And secondly, what the fuck was that last little bit? Hold on, let me run this back.
Inflation. We will stop
Oh, inflation.
the invasion on our southern border. We will restore our nation's dignity.
Dignity. Yeah, hit that word dignity, they told him, especially with your brand new veneers that you just got replaced again. Dignity. Coming from a man who is currently in a rape trial. I'm gonna go with if restoring the dignity of America is like it's too much. Hunter Biden smoking in a bathtub and getting escorts, paying them a living wage is too much. Then I would say you of all people should probably not run either. I think you should write Biden a letter and go, hey, we need somebody. We should make Rosalind Carter president because she's spent so much time with James that she must know, how this shit works, and she's a decent human being too. So I just said go with it.
And we will prevent World War III from happening.
Again, it's going to be fucking over by then.
Together, we will all make America great.
Grapes again. Okay, yeah. Grrr. Make America great.